Greetings and salutations, my excellent friend. Steve Miller here with a very special video update from Asia News Weekly regarding the North Korean nuclear test. As you know, Wednesday morning, Korean time, Pyongyang detonated a nuclear explosion near one of its test facilities. Here is what we know. Number one, while the date and time of this test was not specifically known, it was expected. North Korea has been capable, and we've known this, for well over a year of carrying out such a test. And while the exact date and time was not known, we have seen satellite imagery of excavation near test facilities for some time. And every single time North Korea excavates near a nuclear test facility, an explosion, a nuclear test shortly follows. Number two, North Korea says this is a hydrogen bomb. Well, the seismic profile of the detonation on Wednesday morning is consistent with previous nuclear tests carried out in North Korea. It isn't something we'd expect to see from an H-bomb. Also, until radionuclides are studied, there's no real way to confirm or disprove that North Korea's test was in fact a hydrogen bomb. But remember, North Korea is also the nation that definitively proved the existence of unicorns a few years ago. So take everything that Pyongyang says with a grain of salt. What may have happened, according to Joe Chione, is that Pyongyang may have added hydrogen to a fission bomb to get this particular profile. So, what does all of this mean? Sadly, it's business as usual. Life in Seoul remains normal, although there is an uptick in tension. Everyone is acutely aware of the difficulties and tension north of the DMZ. It also highlights the complete and utter failure of the six-party talks, something that even Pyongyang alluded to last year. International sanctions and condemnations, which are par for the course in this kind of situation, won't do much, if anything at all. China will make its displeasure with North Korea known, but it still needs Pyongyang to act as a buffer between it and Western interests. Phil Robertson, Deputy Director of Human Rights Watch's Asia Division, released this statement. Quote, Kim Jong-un may think it appropriate to celebrate his birthday early with a nuclear test, but even a hydrogen bomb should not cause the world to forget that the Kim's family's hereditary dictatorship is built on the systematic brutalization and abuse of the North Korean people. The only birthday present that Kim Jong-un should get from the international community is a one-way trip to the International Criminal Court in The Hague, where he should be put on trial for crimes against humanity. End quote. Now, I mentioned this past summer that the deal reached between North and South Korea after the landmine issue that ultimately diffused tensions on the peninsula would do little in the long run. And once more, I've been proven right. I said it would be just a matter of time before DPRK would do something to once more cast the international spectrum and attention back on it. And here we are. What we may see moving forward is that this event, the fourth nuclear test, may finally be the tipping point for the international communities to come together, to finally realize that what it's been doing for well over a decade hasn't worked, and that it's time to work together, to come together, and finally figure out a new way to deal with North Korea. What that may be, we don't know, because every time the community comes together to try and impose sanctions, really debilitating sanctions on North Korea, China and Russia will intervene in the Security Council. But if something is going to be done, now is the time, before Mr. Kim can actually produce a miniaturized nuclear weapon and place it on a guided weapon. But if you are worried about the threat of war on the Korean Peninsula, don't. Things are going, unfortunately, as they always have. A very secular cycle where tension rises and then slowly fades away, only to repeat itself months or even years down the line. There is no threat of war, and this saber rattling only further serves to perpetuate the endless cycle.